the absolute horror that we've seen has come along with a lot of like truly incredible human spirit and heroism and empathy and really beautiful things. So one example of that is I interviewed the grandson of Chaim Perry, who was taken hostage from Nir Oz and killed in captivity. And before we knew that Chaim had been killed and before his body was returned to Israel, I interviewed his grandson, Mai Perry. It was very sad. A grandson who doesn't know what's happened to his grandfather, who he loves and has learned so much from. But it was also incredibly inspiring to hear his desire for a good ending and for a real solution for everyone in the region, for Palestinians, for Israelis, for everyone.
And he had a lot of empathy as well for like
he had an incredible side, I don't believe in maybe sides are those who are able to have empathy and those who aren't, but like he did have a ton of empathy for those in Gaza and those suffering in Gaza. And I remember in the interview when he said that to me, I kind of stopped him and I was like, I feel like you saying that is non-trivial. Like the grandson of a hostage who he spent a ton of time on Nir Oz, which we know was absolutely devastated in the Hamas October 7th attack. So someone who has suffered so much personal harm and loss in the attack, to express empathy for Gazans, I stopped him and I said, "What?" And he said he was just like, "Of course, it doesn't take a huge amount of nobility. It doesn't take a huge measure of spirit," which I think that he has both those things, but he was like, it's obvious. There are people suffering. They're people. We should feel empathy for them. And I think that's incredible. And I also think if he can do it, who are we not to? Right. If someone who has been through so much horrifying, horrible trauma can remember his humanity, I think we all have an obligation to try to match that.